Good evening, everybody. Welcome to NRL Supercoach Off the Bench. I'm here with Roscoe on the Beast. We're here to go over the team this Tuesday for a bit of a chilly Tuesday night, but it's State of Origin Eve, mate. Bring it on. I'm already excited.
I can't wait. I'm so excited, honestly. I'm just absolutely pumped for it, eh? It's gonna be 2-0 after tomorrow night. I don't care. Queensland can say whatever they want to say, mate. They can bring on whatever they want to bring on. But from what I've heard, they've been getting a bit of rain over there too, apparently, and they're saying that the ground needed a bit of work from the AFL that they've had played over there too, but they said that they should be all good to go for tomorrow night. So, yeah, really looking forward to it, Brad. Honestly, I cannot wait.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did have a lot of success there one year. I remember it was pouring as rain. Didn't Turbo do that magnificent leap over the top of them and bring the ball down or something? That was in the wet over in the west. I'm pretty certain that was.
Yeah.
But no, it should be a great now should be a great game. Everybody's losing their mind because nobody has second rowers this week. Well, at least I don't, and I think an awful lot of people in the same frame as I am, same place. It's one of those.
I don't even think it's only the second row that's the problem. I had to look at my side when lockout opened on Monday morning, and I looked at my team, and I'm just like, this is the first week where I've literally sat there and gone, I might not even have 17 this week. Like, with the injuries to Hiroti, Kolomatangi, Olakawadu, then you've got teams like Manly, who a lot of us own Garrick and maybe another one as well. And, and you've got the Dogs on the bye as well with people who would have Carraz like I do. And then, so it's it's going to be a very interesting round. I mean, I've used my last boost just to make sure that I can have a 17. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to find themselves in big trouble this week.
Yeah, well, I certainly possibly after news today about what's going on at Manly. I mean, Olakawadu has to be a sell at the very least. So Olakawadu owners. But yeah, just about anybody else in Manly, they're just imploding upon themselves. So God knows what's going to happen there or where that's going to end up. I don't think Seabold the last 2 weeks that's really the case of what's going on over there. So
I'm just surprised by it all when I saw that today, Brad, because at the end of the day, you've got Turbo's obviously still not 100%. DC, they can say what they want to say about DC, but ever since he announced he was leaving the club, they've just gone to shit. And whether that's the culture of the players that are around him or what it is, I don't know. Like I know you bought DC in last week, and thinking he'd step up with being dropped from Origin, but I don't know. For me, it's just like he doesn't want to be there, and it's disappointing. It really is. The bloke's a club legend. He's been there a long time, and he should be giving it 110% until the season's out.
So I look at it the other way. I actually think he is putting in that. He can't go if he's got no room and the forwards aren't going forward. Yeah. Those forwards are just awful last week, and everybody said it. I mean, the defensive structure is just appalling. Yeah. I mean, 45 missed tackles in a game. I don't think he missed one himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. But DC's always put himself up to be one scapegoat, no matter even if it's for Queensland or it's for Manly. Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think about it? Because I don't think Seabold's doing a bad job there. I've never sort of really rated him as a coach, but
look, it's very difficult. I think I'm not sure how much power the players have got there in the dressing room. I think they have an awful lot. So, I mean, they had complete control over Trent Barrett, poor old plastic chair man. So, it's going to be very interesting. But giving the players an ultimatum and then doing some of the droppies that he's doing, and again, Lachlan Croker, his first game back really from major injury. I don't see dropping him after one game and giving him a letter of of intent saying this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
It's you're not going to win the dressing room with actions like that. That's for sure.
It's a hard one because I think Joe Stavanga's probably been one of their best forwards for the year, Brad, for the Manly. You know, and then what's his name? The one. What's the bloke that came back to sign with Manly this year? The forward, the front rower. They used to play for the Roosters.
Yeah, the Rooster. I forget.
Yeah. Either way, Tavaga should be starting in the front row, or at least at lock where he was when Gerbo was out with his concussion. So, I don't know. So, not sure on that one. But yeah. Anyway.
Watch this space. All right, we might just jump straight into this. Hey, Let's have this first game, Ross?
Yep, first game Friday night. Obviously, no Thursday game due to Origin. There's just the one game. The Tigers against the Raiders. For the Tigers, big in for them really because they've been struggling with their go forward. Fanu Apollo returns after 3 games out with a knee injury. Sione Fanu goes back to the bench. 12's back from concussion, and De Silva's been added to the bench. Charlie Murray and Kit Latuli dropped to the reserves. Just the one change for the Raiders. Jed Stewart will make his club debut, obviously with Tamale being ruled out for the season. Now, I am going to get him in because I just want a cheap downgrade option, and I think that he should do pretty well at that price. He is known to be more of a centre than a winger. However, I'm willing to take that risk, Brad, at 198k.
Yeah, very interesting that he's been selected over Hopewadi, who Ricky Stewart previously.
No, Hopewadi's injured.
He is injured. Okay.
Yeah, he's got an ACL or something. I'm pretty sure he's gone for the season as well. Yeah. So yeah,
because Ricky used to have a bit of a love affair for him. So it would be that would be what's done that. There's a lot of interest here for super coaches. The Tigers just about have a clear run all the way up until Supercoach finals, as far as their buys are concerned. So they're not such a bad buy, but I'm not really sure who is a good buy in that team.
Probably no one, really, to be honest with you. I mean, you could maybe have a stab at Appy at hooker, but then you've got Talon De Silva on the bench. So does that mean that Appy doesn't play 80? The only other one maybe is, which what I mentioned on the pod the other night, is Jarrell Skelton. But to be honest with you, there's really not anyone else. Terrell May is one that everyone's got, but that's pretty much it.
Jarrell Skelton certainly is a draft option, folks, but that's the last I'll save it because you'll all jump into my drafts and start stealing him. Stay away. I've already done the waiver picks.
Thanks for reminding me. I haven't done my drafts yet for this week.
Stay off him. Stay away from Skelton. Right down the bottom there, and very likely owned in all drafts. So he'd be one to go definitely have a look at. All right.
And obviously, as you said by your article too, Brad, Hudson Young's probably one of the better options if you don't own him to bring in for Olakwadu if you are selling.
Yeah. It's a tricky one, Hudson Young, because don't they have a bye next week? I think you'll find.
Do they? Okay, I'd have to check that one.
I'd have to check that one myself. There was a bit of a spanner in the works there on that one that I discovered the other day. For some reason, there was I thought, oh, that's a bit scary.
They're gonna buy round 19's the next one. That's not too bad. So it's the mini buy. Yeah.
But definitely. Oh, no, that's right. There was a bit of doubt whether he's going to be named. That was it. Some of the early mail was coming out about him not being named.
Had a good run, Tigers, Knights, Dragons, and then the buy, and then they go into Parramatta, and then they go into Newcastle again, and then they go into the Dragons again. So it's not a bad draw.
The Dragons, isn't that funny one? 2 coaches with 2 sons playing. It'll be that's a style mentioned there, but that's one remains to be seen. The Warriors and the Panthers. The Panthers are travelling over to Warrior Land, minus all their superstars. Dane Laurie takes over there at fullback. Tom Jenkins retains his spot on the wing, which is where he should be. It's a better spot for him. And he might actually, he's got a minus BE this week, so you're not going to sell him at any rate. Isaiah Papali'i is starting in the number 12, another interesting one for draft owners. I would be, if you're short, he'd be one to go look for because a lot of people would have ignored him. For the Warriors, there's what have we got here? We've got a new name in the centers, Mamola Graham Tafua. How'd I go?
Yeah, no, you did great. Well done. I'm impressed, mate. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
he's in for Capewell. I believe he's in for Capewell, who's having a rest for Origin.
Luke Halasima is just about a buy. I know we probably missed out on him earlier. A lot of us did, but him and Aaron Clark are two that should be.
Aaron Clark's a great option as a replacement for Ola as well, for sure.
Yeah, Halasima's on the upwards spiral as far as money's concerned, so he is still cheap enough to it wouldn't be such a bad downgrade from Okoladu to him. Yeah. What else here?
Not much else. It's good if you've still got Jenkins, like you said, that he's on that wing. But at least the other good thing is he's inside Targo too, so he's not outside glue hands this time either. So if you're a Jenkins owner, I'd be definitely playing him for this one if you have him.
Nah, absolutely, you'd be playing him. G'day, Chris. Chris has just come in. G'day. He says, "G'day, gentlemen. Thanks, mates."
Doggies, bro.
19 this week. I've got about 20, but they're not all good.
Yeah.
A few Origin players, so it depends if they back up like all of us. Absolutely. All right. The next game.
Yep. Dolphins versus the Knights.
Yep. Sure.
For the Dolphins, Hammer's back, named at fullback. Averillo goes back to the centres. Max Feagai to the reserves. Felice Kafusi's out suspended. Mark Nichols start the front row, and Harrison Graham is added to the bench. Isaiah Katoa will captain the side for the first time. I'm really rapt to see how this bloke is just going to be an up and coming gun. He's already proving himself now, and unfortunately it's not turning into Supercoach points, but he's so good to watch. For the Knights, Dom Young, he's back at Newcastle, starting on the wing. Bradman Best is back from his hamstring injury. Ponga is named at fullback. Fletcher Sharp is back, named at 5'8". Frizzell's back from concussion at prop. Brody Jones goes back to the bench. James Schiller is 18th man, and Fletcher Hunt and Kyle McCarthy and Jackson Hastings drop to the reserves. So well done on your one-game stint there, Jackson Hastings.
Yes, and Knights. Oh God, how much are the Dolphins going to beat them by?
Well, it's a better back line for me. It's not like having Best back, and we all know Dom Young's not the best defensive player in the world, so I think Osako could do a bit of a job on him, but certainly Bradman Best back helps. I still think the Dolphins will be too good in this one. They've just played far better football. Cody Nikarim has been fantastic for them as well. Even with the amount of forwards that they've got out, Brad, they're still doing a job and still winning. So hats off to them. I think they've scored about 150 points in the last 3 games or something ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening to Jim O'Connor. He's just joined us. Evening, gentlemen. What's the go with Sharp? I thought he'd be gone. I think he only expected about 2 weeks out, but he's back early, so just back up a little bit early. Dom Young, it's probably one of the more bizarre ones, isn't it? Like last week he played against this team, and now he's lining up for them. It's just it's a bit of a crazy world, isn't it? It's but there must be some money in it to do the trade. Fletcher Sharp back into the middle. He must be right because he's going to have to do a bit of defending in there in that middle spot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, if he's not right, they'll just probably bring Hastings back in. But yeah, you imagine he should be right to go. Got a question for you, Brad. So obviously the Dolphins have got to buy round 18. What's your thoughts on having Osako, Herbie, and Bostock in your team? Do you think it's okay to do if you've got enough numbers to cover round 18, with it obviously being the last of the major buys? I mean, Bostock's got a break even of minus 72. It's hard not to go there.
Look, it's quite okay to have. If you've got enough numbers and you reckon you can carry it, then of course it's okay. Because don't forget, round 18 is the best 13, isn't it? So, it doesn't matter if you go into that week with only 2 centre wings, as long as you've got coverage elsewhere.
Yeah,
that's just the best 13 that goes into your playing squad. So you don't have to fill every position. That's the best thing about this best 13. So if you've got, it's certainly, as far as round 18 is concerned, it's quite okay. But it is a lot of Dolphins to carry. They need to be scoring points. Look, you said before Katoa. I actually don't think he's the worst. He's not a high ceiling at the moment. Supercoach. That's at the moment, but it is starting to get there. He got a 90 2 weeks ago. But he's still over 50 average. So in most weeks, he's getting you 50 to 60 points, which is better than Cooper Cronk ever got. Cooper Cronk used to get you 20 points a week. So he's still not that bad.
I'm not saying he's a bad buy. I just think, for me, I would rather someone with the upside. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad buy. I just think if you can find the extra cash and get Jerome Hughes, he's got some low games in him, but he's got some bloody massive games in him as well. So, I think it's a solid option, but it's not it's not an upside option. But yeah, he's got some solid scores in there for sure. Same with Cody Nikorima as well. There's another one. Like, he's got some low scores in him as well.
Well, g'day, Bergs. We're surrounded by bloody Dogs fans tonight.
Jesus, they're freaking everywhere. Shit.
They're everywhere. They're coming out of the woodwork. We'll answer that one just towards the end. We're not going to be, as I said, it's not going to be a long one tonight. So we'll answer their question fairly shortly. All right, the Rabbitohs and the Storm. Hit us. What's going on here?
All right, Latrell's been named to back up from Origin at fullback. Cody Walker's out with a groin injury. Campbell Graham is named on the extended bench with back spasm still. Keon Kolomatangi is listed amongst the reserves, but I'm pretty certain he's only named with Cody in the reserves because they actually don't have a fit 24-man squad to play because they've only named 22 players. So for those who have got, he's named on the extended bench, he might play. No, he's got a fractured eye socket. There is absolutely no way in hell that he's playing this weekend. David Moali moves into the starting side. Sean Kepi comes onto the bench. Jaden Sullivan's out with a calf injury. Lewis Dodd comes in at halfback. For the Storm, there's not really any changes for them. Just Bronson Garlick coming onto the bench. Listali drops to the reserves. And that is pretty much it. And I do not see anything else but a Storm rampage in this game. I think Pappy's going to be a very popular captaincy choice for this round. Or at least a VC into maybe a Teddy or something like that anyway. But, I think the Storm are going to do a number on South, unfortunately. Just too many injuries for them. Keon's a massive loss for them. He's been their go-to for most of the season, like since he's moved to the front row, and now he's not there. And they put David Moali there, but no offence, but he's just meat and potato. He's not going to give you the same job as what Keon does.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
That's like chalk and cheese, isn't it? Like I certainly would be VCing Pappy. Yeah, it is away from Melbourne. That's the only slight disadvantage there. He's definitely going to play. Grant Anderson, if you have a look in your draft waivers and he's available, I would get him. But certainly good for a centre wing option in draft if he's sort of available. He's been going quite well, hasn't he? He's been getting in most.
Yeah, Coates too. If you can get Coates as well, he's another one.
And Elise
100%.
Katoa, if you don't have him and you do have Okolatu, it's a no-brainer. Get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah.
Just got to get him in, man. He's an absolute out-and-out gun for the run home. Anything else there?
No, I just think I think Elise is probably the one you really. I think he's got to be the number one target for Olaquadu. I mean, looking at that forward pack for South, mate, they are going to absolutely get destroyed through the middle in this game. And I just think even on the edge, Elise Katoa running off bloody Jerome Hughes. Oh God, man, I'm glad I own both because I can see them both turning up in this game. Honestly, I really can. Yeah.
I think Lockie Hubner, he's almost a play this week, believe it or not, because the guy is a tackle robot. And he will be tackling heaps in this game.
Yeah.
So he could knock out 50 to 60 tackles on his own playing in the lock position. He certainly is not an edge, but playing him back in the middle, he'll be quite busy in there. All right. Here we go. Timmy will be busting his nut over this. The Broncos versus the Sharks.
Oh, geez, the Broncos, just the one change. Ben Tekura is out injured. He's had surgery, so he's gone. And the jet ski is returning from his injury on the bench for the Sharks. Just the one change. Talakai comes into the centres with Roddy out with a calf injury. He's gone 4 to 6 weeks. And Daniel Atkinson comes on to the bench. I don't know what to make of this game, Brad. Like, both teams have been playing not that great football lately, especially the Sharks. I mean, their last two games have been absolutely woeful. And if the Broncos actually turn up for this game, they could seriously put some serious points on this Sharks team. That's Suncorp.
So could the Sharks. It can go there very easily.
Yeah.
I actually think I'd be backing the Sharks here. I prefer it. Yeah. Karapani's going to be up against Ronnie. He'll be marking up on Ronnie. That'll be interesting, won't it? Karapani versus Ronnie. Wow. That's a bit mouthwatering, that matchup. I think Jesse Arthur's up against Sione Katoa. Katoa looked good last week.
Jesse Arthur's is up against Ronnie, sorry.
What's that?
Jesse Arthur's and Ronnie up against Ronnie.
Well, I thought it swapped over. I thought the fives. See, they're both in the 5, so that'll swap up. Yeah. So they should. Yeah, the 5 matches up against the 2 on the other side of the field. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think anyway. That's generally. But beside the point, Karapani's certainly going to be very interesting. But Sione Katoa, he did look bloody good last week. So it could be another sneaky one in your draft if no one's got him because he's been injured and hasn't scored any points and he's sitting right down the bottom. Go in there, do yourself a sneaky favour and get him. All right, the Roosters versus the Cows.
Just before you go on, just quickly on that game, Nico Hines is number 9 traded out, Brad.
Yeah, wow.
I'd imagine that they're probably going to be going to maybe Hughes or someone like that. Jerome Hughes is number 3 traded in, so I'd imagine most are going to him.
Yeah,
What's your thoughts on that trade? I mean, Hines hasn't been going that well. I mean, Hughes is only 609K, so he's actually quite cheap. He's actually cheaper than Isaiah Katoa at the moment as well. So at 600K, I reckon Jerome Hughes has probably got to be nearly close to one of the buys of the round too, as long as at least up there with Elise Katoa.
Well, if you're doing that trade, you got less problems than I've got.
Yeah, 100%. You've yes.
Yeah, but good on you because it's not a bad trade.
Trading out a player who's actually playing this round. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
A bad trade, certainly. If you got the trades up your sleeve, because most of us are sitting on about 14, 15, 13, sort of around there. That's about your average trade amount. and that'll only just get you home.
The other thing too is that if you make that trade from Hines to Hughes, you're only banking 10K. So you're not it's not like you're getting anything out of it where you can go, oh, I can use that 200K to trade up elsewhere, because you can't, because it's getting you nothing. So yeah.
Hey, Shauno. Mate.
Shawnee.
Go the Blues, mate.
Go the Blues. That's it.
No, thanks for that. All right. Well, next game we've got the Roosters and the Cows.
All right. Yep. For the Roosters, Robert Toya and Lindsay Collins and Connor Watson and Gus and Lena have all been named to play. The alphabet man pushes out to the wing. Should we try and pronounce his name? No. Do you want to have a crack at it? Nakawizawaze or something, or Nawizawaze, or however you say it. I don't know. Have a crack, Brad.
No, Wakanaze.
Shit.
No, Wakanaze.
Mak Nitawaze. I think that's closer to it, Nitawaze, isn't it, or something? I don't know. Maybe get a little bit closer to it.
What good
Dom Young's obviously gone to the Knights. White and Fateki retain their spots in the starting side. Makatoa and Lesu drop out to the reserves. Obviously, Victor Vadley and Egan Butcher are out with concussion. For the Cowboys, Vailea returns from suspension. Burns drops to the reserves. Bateman returns from his one-match ban. And then obviously all the Origin players have been named to back up. Still no Lolo after his calf injury pull-out, which he pulled out right on game day. Edwards and McIntyre go back to the bench. Lars and Doffy drop to the reserves.
Yeah, no idea.
No idea?
No.
After the Roosters played last week and the Cowboys played last week, anything could happen with this game. Shit.
Sia Wong is a nice price if you want to do
yes, I don't mind it. Yeah. He's only about 500 and something K, isn't he?
Yeah. And look, he's not going that badly at all. He's certainly quite solid in his role there, and he definitely got 80 minutes in him this year, every single game. So you're definitely going to get minutes out of him. You know, who knows? You know, look, the Cowboys, when you look at that team, like, talk about an underperforming team. I know Manly are underperforming. They're just shit.
Yeah.
But this team here, wow. You just look at it and go, man, that's a good team. That's a good lot of forwards.
They do have a good team. Look, I don't know what to say. I don't know I mean, you'd imagine the Roosters with all their Origin players back, they should be far too good in this one, but you just never know, Brad. You know, Teddy's been fantastic for them as well. You know, I like Nitawaze back on the wing as well, rather than being in the centres. You know, Faketi's been fantastic. Nafu White had a decent game too. Yeah, they've got Radley and Butcher out, but they've got plenty of depth there. Obviously, we should also mention too, poor Nat Butcher's reoccurred his injury, so he's gone for another 6 weeks. So they really haven't had any much luck with injuries with their forwards at all, the Roosters this season, but they still find a way to win.
No, the Butcher boys have been very unlucky because Egan Butcher's also out with a, I think, head concussion protocol.
Yeah, he's got the concussion with Radley as well, Yep.
Blake Steep, we all know I've got a bit of a love affair with him, but he's just a future gun of the club.
He's your love child. He would have Brad.
When he plays, I get a chubby. Nah.
Oh, jeez.
How do you describe this game? This is like two one-armed men trying to fight each other. This is going to be.
Right, for the Eels, Mitch Moses. Obviously for the Eels, Mitch Moses out with a calf injury. Dylan Brown suspended. Josiah Papali'i and Dean Hawkins are the 6 and 7. Zach Lomax has been named to back up from Origin. Wimu Greg is added for the bench for his first game since round 24 last year. For the Titans, Origin players Tino and Fodawaker have been named on the bench. David Fafita has been named as 18th man. Jojo Fafita returns from a hand injury, and Brian Kelly is gone. And that's it.
Why's Kelly gone? I thought he'd been going rather well.
Well, I thought he'd been going okay too. I mean, I find it a bit odd that they've kept Philip Sammy and Alan Fitzgibbon in the team over him.
Yeah, so
But that's Des for you. That's Des just doing Des things.
Now, Davey Fafita, 18th man. Any chance he could play?
God, who bloody knows, Brad? Honestly, I've absolutely zero idea. I don't know. I mean, Randall's been okay the last couple of weeks while he's been playing on an edge. We spoke about him on the pod the other night, so I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what Des is going to do. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway. He's not relevant for Supercoach. Unless he's starting and he's playing 80. You don't want to go near him anyway.
Wiramu Greig, I can see he's been named on the bench as well for Parramatta. Have we got any odds about how long he lasts before he gets suspended?
How bad is that bench? I mean, other than Dylan Walker, Matt Dorey, Wimu Greg, and Jordan Saramarani, that is such a bad bench. It's shit.
I actually give the Titans a very good chance of winning that game.
I reckon Titans can win 13 plus, mate.
And that is the last game of the round.
Yes, that's it.
Anybody got any questions? Do shoot them through. We will only be too happy to.
Should we check? Should we go? What about Bergs' one about the Super Pod?
Yeah, okay. Bergs should have one a bit earlier. Who's the Super Pod for the week, lads? Mine, Teague Wilton for Cronulla. I'll be quite upfront about that. I think if you want a Super Pod that nobody has, and that side now that Katoa is back, Sione Katoa. They do look a lot better, and that's the side he was on. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind him. Teague Wilton looked quite good the other night, and that he's just coming back and warming up into his game from his injury. So,
all right. Well, mine is actually going to be Cody Nikorima.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit out there, I know. Yeah, for sure. But I think Sua Wong, as you mentioned, Brad, I don't mind him either. He's 8.5% owned, so he's still a massive pod too. So, again, I don't mind him either. I mean, if you really want to be bold, KPP at 2.3% owned is another one that's not – you could do a lot worse than going him. He's been scoring okay, but – yeah, they're probably the main ones that I can sort of think of, Brad, to be honest with you. There's not really anyone else.
Yeah, well, Sean says, how good has Wong and White been?
Wong and White.
Yeah, it's an oldie goodie. Look, both have been good, actually. I've held on to White because I just couldn't sell him. And I'm not too unhappy. He's actually a very good number in the desperate weeks when we needed him.
I don't even think I actually ever owned him, to be honest with you. So... yeah, I don't think I ever had him.
Well, I mentioned Halasima earlier. I reckon that is another one that's a very good pod. And these Warriors have, if you have a look at the draw, they've been quite pissed in around that when the finals are head-to-head start. The Warriors have got a lovely little run there.
I know that Chris already owns him, so so that's fine. He's had him for a few weeks now, so I think he got on him a while ago when he was quite cheap.
Yeah, I like him. And Strange, well, I couldn't go there, but I could see why people would. He's still cheap, I think, with a pretty low BE. So I get it why people would want to go there.
Yeah.
Now, I have to talk about one other thing because we just spoke about Parramatta, but the Cardi party is over.
Oh, God, no. Man. I put a post up today about them, just like, oh. I remember the memos that we used to put out about it, the Cardi party. Did you see the one that I put up today?
No, I actually haven't had a chance to.
You have to have a look at the one I put up, man. You have to look it up. We used to be some cracking ones that we used to do, honestly.
But no, people haven't caught up. The Cardi has been given the exit door by Parramatta, or he has chosen the exit door by Parramatta. I've heard he's going off to play for St Mary's. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, he's playing a final game for St Mary's in the Ron Massey Cup. So I'm pretty sure he's a junior from out that way, from out Parramatta. So Penrith, I should say. So it's just a shame because I'm just surprised that no one's picked him up for a bench spot or something. Like he's not that bad. Like he's not the worst player in the world. Like he's just seemed to disappear a bit like old matey Madison as well, Ryan Madison, because he just seems to disappear off the planet Earth as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ryan Madison likes to look good and get his guns out and flex them and look, he'd probably look more at home in the fireman's calendar than what he does on a football field at the moment. But as far as what the Cardi goes, yeah, a team like Manly, there's absolutely, apart, they got one edge spot, edge second row with, of course, Ola. But the other edge spot, it's just been a constant revolving door between whoever they can get. Corey Waddell fills in when Dendrovic goes out to the centres, and they need a quality. And I would have thought Cardi would have been a really good backup there, but and there's a few other teams like that. So,
Sione Katoa you mentioned earlier, Brad. 0.3% ownership.
How much is he?
He's 560K.
All right. How much? 300?
No, 560K.
Yeah, so he's not exactly cheap, but he's not cheap for a reason, because he's got a good base. He's a bit like Ronnie. You're going to get a base out of him for around about 40 to 50. Tim McConnell says, say it with me, boys. No, Wonga Nita Wase.
Mark Niatuaze. It's about as good as I've got, seriously.
That's him trying to have a joke with us, trying to get us to say Mark Alphabet's name, which I do apologise to.
How's your Manny Petty going, Tim? Can you just let us know what colour you're doing this week? Is it going to be Broncos colours, or are you doing something else? Oh, dear.
He's off to training, it sounds like. So good luck at training there. Oh, crap.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, Tim, that's what I've got to say to Queensland. That's my response to that.
I'm going to go mash some potatoes in a minute and get ready for dinner. Many thanks to everybody for tuning in. Go the Blues tomorrow night. That's about it for us tonight, Roscoe.
That's it, mate. We'll be back on Sunday night. Bloody stupid late games again on a Sunday, so we probably won't be live till about 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Former Bulls and BBL player Sam Heslett will be joining us on Sunday night before he makes his little stint out to going and playing in the Caribbean cricket competition. So we'll have him on Sunday night. Another Broncos tragic, so we're going to be outdone again, Brad, by these Broncos supporters. So hopefully they'll lose.
Yeah, mate, we'll see them crying. Actually, I do give Carla a very good chance this week. All right, so that's all for tonight. Many thanks, everyone, for joining us. Big thanks to our sponsor, Wedgetail Golf. Thank you very much over there, Dan and the boys. They've got some great gear. Look them up at wedgetail.com. Anything else, Ross?
That's it for me. See you Sunday night.
See you later.